Hello.
What's going on?
Cool. I'm trying to check. Do we have a quorum?
Yes, ma'am, you do.
Wonderful. It is actually 4:05, so we can get this meeting started. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to call the Monday, February 7th Commission on African American History to order. Um, and I want to welcome the new commission member, Ms. Kamika Sh- Shakima. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Jakima Clinton Quintana.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everyone.
And can you give us a little bit about yourself and what you do in the community?
Ooh. That's
Put
practically
you on the
everything,
spot,
right? I've been here since 2019, new to the Wilmington area, but a native of North Carolina. So, and some of the things that I'm doing in the community are I sit on 3 boards. Atiba Johnson's OOP Foundation, I am the board chair. Red, Black, and Love, where we send young, deserving high school graduates to college. So I help raise money for them as well, board treasurer. And I'm also the board treasurer for Voyage, where Miss Evelyn and I share a passion. I also work for Live Oak Bank, for those of you that don't know. And my biggest passion here in the community lately has been making sure that business owners, small business owners, minority, Black businesses are getting the resources that they need in order to be successful. So send everyone my way so that I can help them in any capacity. That's the brief version of it.
Well, thank you, Ms. Shakima. I appreciate that. So now I'm going to move along and ask Ms. Sylvia if she'll do the roll call real quick.
All right. Commissioner Black,
Present.
Commissioner Bryant,
Present.
Commissioner Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Ezelon is here. Commissioner Sidbury, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Johnson. Oh, Thomas. Okay. Commissioner Johnson.
Present.
Okay, that's it.
And just please note, Ms. Sidbury is going to be a little late. She's still in the meeting, but she will be joining us as soon as she gets out of her meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Sylvia.
You're welcome.
And so next on our agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes for January. Has everyone had an opportunity to look over them?
Yes, I have.
Are there any comments? If none, can I get a motion to approve the minutes for January?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second? Motion has been made and properly second. All in favor, please state by saying aye.
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 Are there any nays? If none, motion is carried. Excuse me. So that takes us to our old business, an update on our projects. Mr. Black.
Okay, my update for this meeting is, as you can see in the minutes, we were reaching out to Beverly Tetterton to find out additional information after the packet that we're trying to get approved for this local landmark designation for 1406 Orange Street. And Ms. Tetterton suggested that that I reach out to Historic Wilmington Foundation and also North Carolina Historic Preservation for some additional information. And I did reach out to Historic Wilmington Foundation and they actually sent me some information today. So I haven't had a chance to review it, but I will review that information and see if there's anything I can use for the packet. And that's my
Okay. All right. Are there any questions or comments from Mr. Black?
Yeah, Mr. Black, how far are we, I know we've been working on this for almost, what, 2 years now?
a very long time.
Very long time.
Yes.
What seems to be the holdup on that?
Well, it was this additional information they needed. They needed it was a historical significance study, and actually, Ms. Territon is thinking that we could just get away with this information that they used to actually when they applied for the Eaton House plaque.
Right.
So, so I received that information today, and as soon as I review it and see if there's any additional information in it that I don't have in the packet, I can add that to it, and we can go ahead and try to, resubmit it and see if that will work.
Did they turn us down for something? Is there something that they turned us down on that we didn't have enough information to go ahead on and finish it up with?
Well, that's what they were saying. They wanted a historical significance study done. They want to see some official study.
And
But-
Willie, if I can add to that, I'm sorry, just to
Mhm.
help speed this along.
Thank
Raymond,
you.
if you will recall, we did the packet. Willie did it a year ago, and Lenny provided information to you in the beginning. However, what came back from the historic folks is we needed to hire a historian to do this project, which is several thousands and thousands of dollars that you guys just didn't have. And so you were looking for someone to walk us through this process. And my local historical people in the planning department shared some points with us before the project went for review, because if it gets turned down, then you got to wait at least a year before you can resubmit. So the big thing is doing this with volunteers is going to take that much time. And normally this process takes, when you do have a hired consultant, it normally takes 2 to 3 years to get done.
So it usually takes that long to.
Yep. 2 or 3 years to get long. And if you all will recall, and I'll be happy to resend it, I sent you all a year ago a copy of a packet that was done that Willie was given to kind of go by as a guide. And they had hired a historian. This project was for a marker of Masonboro Loop Road and all the things that those folks had to go through to get the certification. So it's not a easy process. It's not a fast process. It's one that takes time and detail. And so you want to get it right as best you can.
All right.
I have a question. I'm sorry, Evelyn. Just a quick thought. So I used to serve on the Historic Wilmington Foundation's organization as a board member, and I know that board has a lot of attorneys on it. Is there any way that we can get assistance from them in filling out that form before we resubmit, so that we don't?
Well, the form is filled out. That's not the problem. It's the historical study that needs to be done. And the Beverly Territon is a go-to expert from this area that did it for the Historic Wilmington Foundation.
Gotcha.
And that's how come she was trying to save us some energy and some time knowing what she went through when she did it. Because he has already one plaque on the house that the Historic Wilmington Foundation has on the house. This is just another certification that they wanted. So if anybody's with Historic Wilmington Foundation, hey, yeah, absolutely. But Beverly did it for them.
Gotcha.
You're welcome.
Thank you for clarifying that.
No problem. Thank you.
And actually, my contact person that I reached out to was Travis Gilbert over at the Historic Foundation.
And he is the executive director, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And he did send me the information this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Travis. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that update, Mr. Black.
You're welcome.
So the next is the partnership with NC African American Heritage Commission. And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me, Ms. Penny, if I am off track, The last communication was in reference to the Battle of Forks Road. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct. And we were going to invite her to come do a presentation to the commission.
Right. And they were supposed to be getting back with us with more information. Is that correct also?
Right, because we have, the commission participated years ago with that project. And they're talking about doing almost like a Civil War trail, sort of like what we're doing for Eaton. So yes, that's where we left off. And I think it's just a matter of a follow-up to say, here's the meeting date. Do you think you can come present to us? Yada, yada, yada.
Okay. So I guess we can get back with Mr. Grubber. We can set up maybe for the month of March for him to come and do a presentation.
Yeah, because remember, I'm waiting. Remember, he asked for a map of the city's bike trail, which I provided it. And 2 weeks ago, he sent me, you, and Linda an email saying he had not forgotten us, but he had been on the road traveling. And so that's probably what the delay is. But he was going to submit a proposal as well. And that has not come through yet.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Any questions or comments on that part?
Excuse me, what was his name? Mr. Who?
Drew Gruber, Gruber.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, and C is the status of request with Ms. Isla Speller, the Burnett Eaton Museum Foundation. Ms. Penny?
Yes, that's the Dr. Eaton Civil War Trail, and I am waiting for city staff, which is my location guys, to tell me what works as far as where to place this marker. If you all will recall, we were looking at downtown near the courthouse. We also was looking, if you're familiar with New Hanover High School on Market Street, but it needs to be, they want it in a right of way where people can see it, but then they also want it out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. So that's what we're waiting on. But it's my understanding they have agreed to do this marker. We just don't know when.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. And for those of you who don't know, correct me if I'm mistaken, there are only 50 markers in the entire state of North Carolina to be put up in reference to the Civil Rights Trail. And so, we were fortunate enough to be one of those 50 markers.
That is correct.
All right. Any questions or comments related to that? So on item D, we have the ML Parade participation. I'd like to thank those who did participate in the parade. I think that it's important as we align ourselves with what the city's mission is to still focus on community events. So I appreciate those who did participate. Questions, comments? No. On to new business. So if, and I do have one question, Ms. Penny. Was there another person that was designated for our commission?
Not yet. You got one vacancy.
Okay, so we only have one more vacancy. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The city of Wilmington has a new chief equity and inclusion officer, which is Mr. Joe Conway. So at this time, I will give him the floor so that he can introduce himself and kind of talk about his role within the city.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Conway. I am the new Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer for the City of Wilmington, so it's great to be here. Predominantly, my background, for those that are not familiar, is I worked for Novant Health, NHRMC, for the last 14 years. And my last stint with them was as their Director of Health Equity and Human Experience. Really enjoyed my tenure there. and moved over to this particular role, which I see as more integral, and being able to have systemic and or institutional influence into changing the dynamics of mitigating disparities, especially as it applies to various populations within our city. So that is my charge, is to operate by the Rise Together initiative, which I've taken principles from that, and identify those disparities and then attack them head on. A lot of that work is going to lead me into the community to talk to citizens about what their expectations are, you know, the good and the bad stories, right? You know, and then codify that information and then try to put a strategy in place, which I hope to have that strategy in place by April. Does have to go through an approval process, as all things, but also connecting with you know, commissions and boards such as this one. So this has been an insightful opportunity, and I just look forward to hearing from you directly. My contact information, I'm happy to put into, I don't have a chat box, so I'm sure Miss Evelyn can probably share it. Jakima and I also sit on boards together, so she also has my contact information, and of course, Penny has my contact information as well. So love to hear from you and any insights that you have. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Are there any questions or comments for Joe?
Yes, Ms. Chairman, this is Penny. So yes, I will definitely provide the commission Joe's information. And Joe, as a note for you that I didn't get a chance to send over a note for you, a member of the commission made a request regarding the Rise Together initiative. So maybe I can get with you after this meeting or either tomorrow. They wanted a presentation to come forth on the status and where the city is as it relates to the Rise Together initiative.
Thank you, Penny. I'm glad to connect with you tomorrow on that. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Wonderful.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Miss Sidbury. Was that you? Yeah. Miss Sidbury? Okay.
Just wanted to be
So-
present and accounted for. Yes, it was me.
Okay, wonderful. So, for those of you who were not aware, last year, the commission members did a wonderful job in putting together, with the help of Ms. Penny and staff, a 6-month series on the Emancipation Proclamation. And if you recall, we agreed that, you know, part of that would be on GTV for the month of February. So I'm not sure exactly when that will start, but I did get an email saying that that will be taking place this month. So I'm excited to really go back and revisit it and see, you know, what parts we played and what we can do in order to, you know, make it even bigger or more visible within our community. So if you get a chance or opportunity, and if you remember, those things are on YouTube also.
Yes, Ms. Evelyn, I think I'll send something out tomorrow as a reminder when Dylan, who is our GTV go-to person, he did send us a note to say they would start running it. So it will run for the month of February, those series, those panel discussions and things that you guys did. So I'll send a note out to the commission as a reminder. And if you don't find the link, I'll send the link again so folks can take a look at what you guys did last year. It was fresh, it was new, it was something different. So I think that to get through this month of February, I think this is a great contribution that the commission. One little note, Ms. Chairman, if I could mention, something that just came to you and I earlier today was a request from my GTV folks regarding a production that Francine de Courcy put together regarding the Wilmington 10 Just for the commission's information, it's kind of last minute. And I will share it with you. Madam Chair thought that it was too last minute, but I'll share it with you all. But we had some concerns as to whether or not it should run under the name of the commission, especially since this commission had nothing to do with the production of this film that's put together. I think it's a 25 or 30-minute clip about the Wilmington 10 telling the story. So I'll be happy to share that with the commission tomorrow, and then you all can give me whatever feedback. But we think it's more appropriate to run what you all participated in, which is that 6-month series, and let that be your contribution, because you all stated then, and I think you still stand by, we should practice Black history every day of the week, every month throughout the year. So I'll make sure I get that information out.
Thank you, Ms. Penny. Are there any comments or concerns about that? No? Oh, y'all are so quiet today. I got an email about the county's diversity and equity is partnering with the Community College Foundation, and they'll be presenting an evening with Mary D. Williams gospel singers and North Carolina historian during Black History Month. That's going to be February 25th at 7 p.m. at Cape Fear Community College Union Station Auditorium, and the tickets are $30. So what I'll do is I'll forward the email to Ms. Penny so that we can get it out just in case you want to participate in it. And Ms. Penny, can I ask one question? Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know
Go right ahead.
who
Yes, ma'am.
the chair for that committee is?
For which committee?
The counties.
The county's commission? I need
Yeah.
to double check. I know who it used to be, but I think they just elected a new chairman. But I'll double check that, because I do know Ms. Johnson Bernice is vice chair. But I can verify that and send it to you.
Okay, because I recall we were supposed to get together to see how we could partner on some things, and I just didn't want to.
Yeah, they were having, I talked to Linda this morning about some other things. They are doing a regrouping for that commission and taking on some new members. And of course, with Deborah, with her new role with NAACP, she's having to step aside. So they're doing some reorg. So I'll get an updated list and a point of contact for you on that. I think that's why you see Linda sending out a lot of good things
Right.
that she's sharing with us. But I'll get you that updated information.
All right. Are there any questions, concerns, announcements? How are y'all feeling today?
Pretty good, but I have a question.
Yes.
So I know for the last year, maybe 2 years, we have paused our 2 major programs that we do. One is for the youth, and the other one is for the adults that we did. Are we picking that back up this year? The banquets?
I can add, Mr. Johnson, in response to that. The county school system is the one that asked us to put a halt as it relates to the youth awards, because they were having some challenges in the school. I think that Madam Chair can send a note. We can send a note over to them to get their feedback, because remember, they were very key when it came to the youth awards. As far as the other awards, that's up to you as a commission, how you wish to proceed, if that's something you want to start working on. But as a reminder, the 6-month series that you did last year and the 1898 project was 2 standing projects that y'all wanted to continue. So however you all want to proceed, don't have a problem with it. But just remember that you are 9 members and 4 or 5 that actually do the work. So you got to pick and choose what it is you want to do. But I will say the Legacy Award, which is the award with the adults, we've got some folks that we've got on hold that you all wanted to recognize that we did not follow through on, that you might want to start with them, recognizing those folks, and then gradually moving back into what you were normally doing annually as it relates to those awards.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, this would have been the year for the Adult Legacy Awards, correct?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
So, Commissioner Johnson, I guess, it would be.
No, ma'am. I was just asking where we're going to pick that up.
that's what I'm getting ready to say. You know,
No, no, no.
you brought
You
it
know what I'm saying?
up,
I
and
done been around you
I
long
was
enough,
gonna
and
say,
it was just a question, my love. It was just a question.
once
I'm sure,
again,
I'm sure he'll do whatever we need for him to do.
I mean, y'all always just throw me in these positions, but no, I was not volunteering. I was just asking, you know.
Thank you.
well, I appreciate that, but you know, that is a good question, and I would like to hear from the commissioner members because, you know, we are still dealing with COVID, and we want to make sure that we continue with our mission, but be mindful of, you know, what's really going on. Am I
I
on
think that
call?
is no, you're not. I'm answering. I think it's a wonderful idea. And Mr. Johnson, I think that you will be a wonderful leader in this project. We can take on some of the things that we looked at last year, and it would just be great to move forward with
Pardon me, Miss Seabury.
it.
I actually did my term of leading that actual banquet. I think I did it the founding year. So I'm gonna just let you
So I
guys.
think
I
that
will
you
assist.
already know the process. So
I
that
will
that
Well,
would
assist.
well,
I will support you in any way
I'm
possible.
gonna be voluntold what to do anyway. So I will assist because they're gonna voluntold me to do something anyway. That's what Penny and Evelyn do.
Look,
So,
well, I have a question, Ms. Penny. Um, do you recall how many adults there are that we have for the on the whole or applications?
We have, I want to say it's 5 or 6, but I can easily, let me dust those off and send it to you as a reminder, and then you all can decide which way you want to go with it.
Is
Mhm.
there a list, Penny, of names that we had to go along with that? The top 5 or top 6 people?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I have that list. Yes, sir. I have that list. In other words, these people have already been selected. We just put it on pause because of the
Okay.
pandemic.
All right.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna chime in, and I know that you guys mentioned you wanted to hear from us. I think it's still, while we are in the middle of a pandemic and we as a city and county are trying to get back to normal, I think it's something that we should go forth with, but to also perhaps just limit seating, because other organizations are still doing their banquets and dinners and things and so forth. So I don't know that I don't know what that was, but hopefully that wasn't my phone. But I think that we should move forward. That's just my personal thought. You know, we're trying to get back to normal, and perhaps maybe it's mask or a show that you have a COVID vaccination. But at this point, I think we're learning that whether you have a vaccination or not, that you can still get COVID. So, but I'm not a nurse or a doctor. I'm just basing this on what I've seen here recently. And I'm still attending events, washing my hand, wearing masks, and increasing vitamins and so forth. So just my opinion.
Thank you.
And I
So-
think I should lead that, by the way.
Say that again. I
I
apologize.
do think Atiba should lead that, since he has that experience and he could show the rest of us how to do it.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm
And
second.
the adult legacy is usually in June. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So keeping
So
in
can,
mind,
so can I suggest that let me pull out what you have where you left off, and then you all can decide which way you want to go with it.
right? Okay. And keeping in mind, it's February, March, April, May, June. That's what, 4 months? So that means if we were to go forward and do this, I really need all hands on deck. All right. If there's nothing else, I guess we'll be expecting the emails from Ms. Penny. And if there are no other announcements, or I guess I can call this meeting adjourned.
Real quick, Madam Chairperson, this is Commissioner Thomas. I have an idea brewing with uh, for the Ike House on Fifth and Red Cross. I just want to put that out there, but I'll probably provide you more information as I get it offline.
All right, sounds great. Well, today is Monday, and I really hope, there's more energy throughout the week. It's great seeing y'all. If we are not meeting in person, it's still good seeing y'all over the airwaves. So take care. Have a great day. Reach out if you need to. Thank y'all.
Thanks, everyone.
Good evening.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody be good.
Thank you.
Nice to meet y'all.